Welcome, podcast family, to the season finale. I'm your host, Jacqueline Page, and this is the Embodied Mother podcast. I can't believe that season 4 has winded down, and I am sharing the season finale today. And it's going to be a fun episode because I decided to do a little Q&A. So I posted on my Instagram twice some questions. So I've been saving them for this episode. I'm also going to be talking about a really fun summer challenge that we did together as a family and some of the takeaways that we really benefited from doing the summer challenge. So I'm really excited about this episode. And so grab a little drink, sit down, get cozy, and let's chat away. I'm going to start with our summer challenge. And I was really inspired by Corey Malloy's summer challenge that I participated in. And part of it was challenging us to clutter things, or not clutter, declutter things in our daily rhythms that no longer serves us. And encouraged us to unfollow everyone on social media. And I've done this twice now on my own of just letting go of who I'm following and then just being inspired by who I feel called to follow again. It really brought a lot of intentionality with who I'm choosing to follow and the content that I'm bringing into my mind. And so that really inspired me to bring this into my family. And while we don't really our kids don't get on social media. They're not at an age where we are allowing that. But I decided to bring the challenge of no TV in July to my family. And so we're having our little family gathering like we do every Sunday to talk about the week ahead and our intentions. And I brought up the challenge. I was like, hey, I'm feeling inspired by the summer challenge I'm in. I would really love to adapt that to our family and do no TV for the month of July. And I'm fully aware there's like no football, like no sports that I'm intervening with. There really isn't much going on in the summer of July. And really, we're spending so much of our time outside and doing outdoor activities that I really just thought it was a perfect opportunity. And so my husband was on board right away. And he was the one that's probably watched a little more TV than the rest of us. My son, at first, was like really opposed to it. And then halfway through, he was like, this really wasn't that hard. And I was like, yeah, because we really don't watch so much TV in general. I mean, it's just the here and there little episodes when we're learning something or there's like a YouTube video that they want to watch, but we don't just sit and make that as part of our daily rhythms. And even with the minimal amount of TV that we do, screen time, I just saw our family really thrive and flourish in a way that I hadn't really seen before. And really, summertime, we're outside more, we're getting more sunlight. We typically are just thriving in general. But I just saw this like unity that really took place and anchored our family. We really just came together in a deeper way. And it gave my husband and I just so much more opportunity to dream, to let's just talk about our dreams and our visions for our family, for our life, and how we see that unfolding for ourselves. And it was just a really fun time to look at how, even though we were a low screen family, how taking it out all together for a whole month and seeing the benefits of the creativity begin to flourish, the unity really anchored into us, and a lot of just unity in the way that we were operating as a family. There was a lot more togetherness when we were cleaning up after meals. There's a lot more willing to help, willing to participate in these tasks that need to be done, and just the willingness to want to participate in things that maybe usually was seen with an attitude of drudgery of the dishes and the dishwasher or cleaning our house. And we also took this opportunity to just deep clean and declutter our house And it just feels like our home has this freshness in it, this renewed energy that is just flowing, not just in our home, but within each of us. And even just getting to witness the creativity of my children, of myself, of my husband. Instead of maybe like an afternoon sitting and watching TV, we are pulling out the crafts or we're talking about our dreams and our visions. And we even deep cleaned and decluttered our homeschool supplies and our craft supplies. So we really took time to organize them and made them more accessible for my son and daughter to just have free range to. And it is just has been a really beautiful unfolding that I didn't quite expect. I don't know what I expected. I wasn't really attaching expectations to this like family challenge, but it's been just a really beautiful experience and unification within our family that I really just wanted to share and encourage others to. It doesn't have to be TV, but maybe you decide something else as a family, a little family challenge, either doing something or removing something like a habit or whatever it is. I really felt called to share part of our takeaways and um, some of the benefits that we saw of just taking TV out of our rhythm. And I already don't watch TV. So for me, my challenge was limiting my social media and really being intentional with getting on to share and promote my podcast rather than consuming and taking without giving. And so really just limiting my consumption of social media also really helped just revitalize me in a way that I didn't realize how much I was just picking up my phone as a habit to just like 5 minutes here and there, and then watching how that 5 minutes just adds up throughout the day and really how it's taking time, it's taking mental capacity. I'm absorbing the information, even though I am intentional about who I follow, even though I unfollowed everybody, there's still the algorithm that is like feeding me stories and content. And so that was my challenge for myself, a part of this family challenge of taking out TV time for us as a family. And it's been a few years since I've really reduced. I might watch a movie here and there, or if we read a book, sometimes if there's a movie that ties along with it, we'll watch it together. But other than that, I really have removed TV from my daily life. And it's been a few years since I've done that personally. And I really just saw the benefits, the mental clarity, the sharpness, my connection to God, my connection with myself. And it was so powerful that when I started to just slip back into maybe an episode here and there more frequently throughout the week, I noticed how much of an effect it had on my psyche, on my thoughts, on my energy, my moods. I just didn't feel my best self. And honestly, life for me feels too precious to waste on watching drama on TV or watching other people live their lives instead of living my own life. And I really don't have this itch or desire to like just binge TV anymore. And I think that had a lot to do with the inner work that I did within myself. I wasn't I wasn't using it as my coping mechanism anymore to just avoid and zone out. I more so was able to cope and to process and move through emotions and experiences that had been stuck within me that I wasn't willing to face and see. And so I have just seen the beautiful benefits of letting go TV for myself. And then for our family challenge, it was just a really beautiful unfolding. So I'm going to get into these questions. There's a few that I picked out. Some are a little lighter, some a little juicy. We'll see how this goes. The first one is a little bit of a lighter one. Someone asked, how long do you plan to homeschool? And I really don't have a set answer because we really haven't decided that as a family. We know for the foreseeable future, this is what aligns with our family values is having our children at home and homeschooling. I had the capability, we have the financial resources to do it. And right now that is like what we're going to be doing until if for some reason it didn't feel aligned, then we would honor that part of our journey and move from there. But there really is just there's so much abundance of of opportunities, of availability, of different modes that you can homeschool with. There's co-ops, there's in-person like classes that you can go, online classes if you're needing support. There is just so much available out there as support that for right now, for this foreseeable future, that is where our family is feeling aligned. And we will continue as long as, God willing, that aligns with our family. Number 2, any regrets in life? Honestly, I used to live with feeling a lot of regret in choices or decisions or ways of living that I used to live in or do or have or whatever. And I really just came to a point in my life where I let that guilt go. I let the shame go of choices because you know what? I was doing the best that I could in that moment. And every day I know that I choose to do my best. I choose to show up as my full self. I choose to live each day to its potential. And I don't live with a lot of regret. The one thing that I would say I would like to continue to improve on is seeing my own greatness, is letting go of the self-criticism. And I know that I have come really far, but I look back at my younger self, my young adult self, my teenager self, and I have so much compassion for how hard I was on myself and the perfectionism front that I put on to really hide my own insecurities. And so I think if I had a regret, I use quotations, it would be not seeing my own greatness, not really just like loving myself enough. And that is something that I continue to work on, and to just allow compassion and grace while also holding myself to standards, but not putting unrealistic expectations on myself, and just like celebrating and choosing to acknowledge how far that I've come, acknowledge the celebrations that needed to be acknowledged, and learning to flow with that part and to deepen into that part of my life. What is one thing that you would tell your younger self? I think that this ties into that question because of my self-criticism. I would just tell my younger self to love on yourself, really. Because if you live life with such a closed heart to seeing your own greatness, you're missing a big piece of life. We all have such unique talents and abilities and gifts to bring to this world. We are all created with a purpose. We're all created with this shining light in us that is meant to be shared with the world. And so if I could tell my younger self, that would be it. You are special and unique and radiant, and you are a shining star in this world, and honor that and see that within yourself and just love yourself. And it's okay to let go of the expectations. It's okay to let go of the shame and the guilt and the self-criticism. And it's okay to love yourself. And how much funner is life when I can actually love and pour into our own vessel, into our own self, into our own gifts and creativity. And so I think that's what I would share with my younger self. Mm. So I forgot I wrote some of these down. What is one thing you're struggling with currently? I like to reframe this, and instead of saying something I'm struggling with, I like to reframe it as something that I am intentionally putting more time and care and love into. And right now, that is sleep for me. And it is something that like ebbs and flows. Like some seasons I'm like getting deep sleep, and some seasons I'm getting a little bit lighter sleep. And I definitely know where that stems from for me personally. And choosing to take action and choosing to support myself throughout the day so that when nighttime comes, I have the energy stores and the emptiness of my mind to be able to have a deep, restful sleep. And a lot of it for me is about mindset and stopping the mental loops that really are just a energy suck for me. I feel like I've become much more aware of that. So maybe that ties into it. The mental looping and the sleeping is where I'm putting more intention to. I'm allowing myself to reframe my mental loop. I'm allowing myself to stop the thought, which I used to teach in counseling all the time, and to replace it with something more positive and uplifting and self-giving. Those are the things that I am currently bringing more intentionality to and more awareness around, choosing to not be stuck in those cycles, to not be a victim of the cycles, of feeling empowered that I have the power to change both of those things easily as much as I'm willing. And so those are the two things. I would say my sleep and my mental loops are the things that I am healing and bringing attention to. A current theme song. Man, if I had a life song, I feel like the one that literally popped up in my mind as I wrote that question, and it just came back to me right now, is it's an old country song, Life's a Dance by John Michael Montgomery. So if you haven't heard it, go listen to it. But it's like, life's a dance, you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry what you don't know. Life's a dance, you learn as you go. And it's just, that's how I feel about life. It's truly a dance. It's a dance that we can choose to embrace, we can fumble with, but when we begin to just let loose and feel the flow of life and just dance with the rhythm of life, it's just so much more enjoyable. I used to live life very stiff and stuck and rigid and controlling, and it just wasn't a fun space to be in, to just be grumpy, and my posture was very closed, and I would catch my peripheral in the mirror and I'm like, oh my gosh, that doesn't look very pleasant. And just learning to just open and surrender and dance and to enjoy life. Life is so precious. A lot of people, I know I've mentioned this before, but a lot of people say life is so short. But to me, I think that life is so precious. Every day is so precious to not live to its potential, to its fullest, to show up, to give to yourself, to serve others, to serve your family, to serve this world, and to just live in our purpose and share our gifts with the world. And so life's a dance. Sometimes you lead and sometimes you follow, and it is just such a journey of where it will take you when you allow it, when you surrender to it and trust yourself, trust the plan and the vision that God has for you and your life and your family. And there is just so much beauty to it. It is remarkable. And those are all my questions that I had for our Q&A. And I'm going to be taking a break from releasing episodes for the podcast, but I do have intention to promote it more because I feel like some episodes got a lot of views or listens and some just really tanked, and I'm like, this is gold. The people need to hear this. And so if there's any episodes that you have skipped over, I encourage you to go back and listen to them. Star your favorites, listen to them again, share with friends and family. If you feel inspired by any of the episodes that you've heard, it would really just mean a lot to me if you share that with others. So let's see if I'm going to cut this out or not. But I do have some exciting news to share. And with this news, I'm not sure how soon I will be releasing another season. I feel like I usually do 2 seasons a year or one-ish season a year. I don't know. I was having the intention of bringing more episodes and seasons out, but we currently have another baby on the way. And so that has actually taken up a lot more of my energy than I realized. And at the same time, I feel like it's my most easeful pregnancy. I feel like I'm thriving. But with the thriving, I've realized that I've had to cut back on things to preserve my energy to still feel joyful and happy and sustainable being home, homeschooling while growing life. It requires a lot of energy, and I've recognized that. And so it might not be till after the baby's born that I produce another episode or another season. And in that case, I might have a little one with me. And so needing to be a little more flexible with what that will look like. And so I haven't shared publicly, so you are the first people to hear. We are over the moon excited for bringing another blessing into our family and getting to nurture another soul on earth. And what an honor it is to be a mother and to grow life and to nurture children into harnessing their unique gifts. I have a whole episode on that if you haven't heard that one, but we're just over the moon excited over here. And I have brought a lot of intentionality of preserving my energy and not saying yes to things that I know that are going to overextend myself. And so with that being said, I don't know when the next season will be. Most likely it won't be until the spring again. So we're, tailing the end of summer here. So yeah, if you haven't listened to some episodes, I encourage you to go back and peruse back through. There's 4 seasons now. And so there's plenty of little gems to go and catch up on. But I'm sending you with so much love and blessings. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in the next episode, whenever that is.
Thank you so much for tuning in today. It has truly been an honor to walk alongside you and share my journey of motherhood with you. If you feel connected with this episode, I would just so love if you could leave a rating and a review. This really helps the podcast grow so that it can reach other mothers and women along this journey. And I always love hearing your takeaways and your interactions with this podcast. So if you ever feel called to share on Instagram and social media, be sure to tag me at the.embodied.mother so I can connect with you and your takeaways from this podcast. Until next time, I'm sending you with so much love and blessings on your journey in this life.